Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about some fragrances that I think are masterpieces. Please note that this is all in my humble opinion. The first fragrance on the list is none other than Black Afgano by Nasamato. This is just so warm and rich. The amber, the incense, the oud, the cannabis note, how it's nice and clean and green and doesn't have any of that skunkiness to it. I adore this fragrance so much. It's just so warm and dark and mysterious. And it's polarizing too. I tend to gravitate towards polarizing fragrances, ones that really make a statement. Also, it's a beast. It lasts like 24 hours. The next fragrance, also by Nasamato, is Fantomas. This is just... It's hard to describe this fragrance. You can't really categorize it, which is precisely what it was going for. But anyway, the first time I smelled this was in Osme Perfumery in March of 2023 in Miami. I love Miami. Anyway, so when I saw it in the perfumery, I just smelled it, and the first thought I had was, wow, that mad genius did it again. He got away with putting rubber, gunpowder, plastic, smoke, and dirt in a fragrance, because he balanced it out with melon and caramel. Now this next fragrance really surprised me. It's Dior Sauvage Elixir. It's just so dark and warm, yet it has brightness with cardamom and lavender, and that licorice note is just to die for. I love black licorice so much. It's my favorite ice cream flavor, my favorite jelly bean flavor. It's just one of my favorite flavors. 100% dark chocolate and black licorice are some of my favorite flavors on the planet. Anyway, the scent is also a beast. It lasts 16 hours and projects about 5 feet off of me. Which, I do think it's impressive that with 16 hours of longevity, it's only 5 feet of projection. Because this scent profile is very, very bold. With such a bold scent profile, to project any more than 5 feet, it would be overwhelming at the epicenter. So to be able to stretch out that longevity more so than what you would expect from something that projects 5 feet is very impressive. And it has this just tiny little bit of powderiness to it that just makes it so refined and so elegant and masculine, and it makes it more mature. That's the word I was looking for, mature. And if you want a fragrance with even more bite that really makes a statement, there's Inexcusable Evil by Toscovat. This fragrance, I have to say, when I smell this, it almost seems like a pheromonal chemical warning to stay away. I know that's not usually what you want from a fragrance, but some days you really just don't want to be bothered when you're running your errands. Not once have I smiled while smelling this fragrance. I usually smile a little when I smell my fragrances. This one wipes the smile off my face. Check this out, I'm gonna smile. Gone. Completely gone. This is a smile eraser. This is... The air fresheners in hell smell like this. This is hell's air freshener. I actually wear about a quarter of a spray of this to the gym. When I go to the gym, when I work out, I want people to know that I mean business, and I want them to stay away from the machines and dumbbells that I want to use. Yeah, that's right, I use machines. I'm not all free weights over here. I have a much more in-depth review of this fragrance on my channel if you'd like to check it out. This next fragrance may not be hell's air freshener, but it is the scent of the devil himself. It's Tom Ford Noir Extreme Parfum. This is such a dark, such a warm, spicy, such a gourmand fragrance. It has a little bit of leather to it, a little bit of smoke. The addition of a ginger note from the original Noir Extreme just... This is my favorite scent in the world. While this scent does just barely edge this one out for my top position, the performance on this is just unmatched, so this is my favorite fragrance, while this is my favorite scent profile. The next fragrance, also by Tom Ford, is Noir de Noir. This is just one of the sexiest scents I've ever smelled in my entire life. This fragrance centers around the black rose, which is my favorite flower. I actually have a tattoo of some black roses. The way the black rose note is supported in this fragrance is just to die for. You can almost smell the dewdrops on the petals of the black rose. It's just so earthy with that truffle note complemented so nicely by the vanilla, creating this chocolatey accord. The patchouli, the saffron, the oak moss, making it just so earthy, almost damp. You gotta be careful with this stuff. Like, definitely bring it to opera programs, but yeah, you want to be careful with this stuff. This next fragrance is my sexiest fragrance that you can still wear to church. It's Tabac Rose by BDK Parfum. I will say my one gripe with this fragrance is that the prune and lemon notes are a little bit too forward for about 60 to 90 minutes. But once those settle down, this fragrance is just to die for. The way the chocolate and the tobacco and the plum gently support such a gorgeous rose note. Actually, two rose notes, Madagascan and Turkish. That is just such a potent elixir, yet is still appropriate for church. The sweetness of the chocolate is just enough to be rich and indulgent, but not enough to be cloying in any way. And the way it's complemented by the tobacco is just, it's phenomenal. And last on the list, but certainly not least, as it's number one, it's Boss Number One. Out of the many, many notes in this fragrance, since it's from 1985, the five that are most prominent to my nose are artemisia, tobacco, honey, oak moss, and patchouli. That slight bitterness to it, the warmth of the honey, the earthiness to it, this scent is just phenomenal, and it's the most masculine one that I own. If you imagine what a Silver Fox CEO smells like, it would be this. And those are some fragrances that I think are masterpieces. Thank you for watching.